there, ladies and gentlemen. Robert Blythe, and welcome to Canon 6070. Oh, for crying out loud. Who was the dumbass that thought of that name?
We need a longer one.
I know. Okay, take two. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, Robert Blythe, and to your Facebook page where we share laughs and photos and everything else. And I'm not going to try to say the name again, even though I wrote the damn thing. Hey, this is our very first episode of Meet the Members, and we're so glad, so excited, and we're really looking forward to sharing this with you. That handsome gentleman over there is Mr. Keith Slack. He's another admin, and Keith will be saying hi in a few minutes. And we have on tonight with us a very special person, very special to me. When I started the site, she was number 27 to join. I remember that very, very clearly because I was counting. I wanted to get to 50, see if we can get to 50. She joined at number 27, had great interaction, she kind of epitomized what I wanted to make this site about. Nice people, sharing, having fun, enjoying each other, being polite, helping, teaching, and so on and so forth. And when I saw that, I kept my eye on her. And when we got to 100 people, I asked her to kindly be an admin with me. And I can remember the conversation. What's an admin? What does it do? Well, that was a long time ago, about 3.5 years ago. And ladies and gentlemen, everybody's favorite contest person, our favorite den mother, Mrs. Lynn Roffman, is going to join us tonight. And we are so excited to talk to her and meet her and hear all about her photographic journey and so on and so forth. I'm going to turn this over to Keith because he's got all the questions. He knows what he wants to ask her. So Keith, take it away, buddy. This is all you. I'm going to flip it over here to gallery view so you can all see what's going on. Hey, Lynn, welcome.
Yes, definitely. Welcome.
Hi.
So one of the most important first questions I would have for you is what got you started in photography, because you're one of the few people that's in the group that actually knows about film and worked in the Lightroom. So if you can give us a little background on what you how you got started with in photography, and especially how it related to the film.
Well, being a person of a certain age, I can still remember back many, many years ago. And my parents had this camera. It was one of the Kodak twin lens reflex box cameras, and you flip the lid up and you look down into the viewfinder, and it was in a leather case and a strap. I was like 4 years old, and it was like the coolest thing ever. It was like magic. You press a button, you send off this little thing of film, and you get back memories. Pure magic. So I got my first own, they didn't want me messing with their camera, I guess, so they got me my own. And it was like one of those little gray plastic box cameras, basically just like the shutter, you just click. So I went around town, and I, like at the age of 4, I'm clicking like everything, just very non-discriminate, just like pushing buttons. And I'm sure they spent a fortune on getting my pictures back. But that's kind of how it started. I mean, I just, to me, it was pure magic, and it still is.
Do you have any of those memories around? Do you have any of those old photos that you took?
We're
going back a long way, I know.
Yeah, they're packed away. They're not readily accessible, but I probably still have some.
Cool stuff.
Yeah, actually, I even had the cameras up until fairly recently. When I downsized, I just had it broke my heart, but I had to get rid of, so much stuff.
Yeah. My brother still works a little bit in using film, and he actually goes on to websites and finds expired film because he likes the modeled kind of look that it gives to his photos. So he's still doing it with the film photography.
Yeah, by the time I got to, I had a few different cameras. By the time I got to high school, that's when I got more serious and had my first, film SLR camera, had my own darkroom, and all that stuff.
Yeah. It's an expensive hobby back when it was the film days. That's the problem.
It was.
No
There,
kidding.
luckily, there was a store, and they also did mail order catalog, and they had their own catalog, and it was called Spiritone. And they weren't too. They were just a couple miles from here, so it was a very specialty place where photographers got their stuff back in the day. So I still actually have one of my, even though I got rid of a lot of stuff, I still have the lens. It was called the Sharpshooter, and it was a 400 millimeter for the SLR, and it came with a 2x extender, and I still have it. I mean, I have a ring where I can adapt it to it doesn't take good pictures, but it was more just sentimental that I kept it.
Yeah. So you're probably one of the bigger gearheads in our group. So
Yeah, you mean that nicely, don't you, eh?
not a bad thing. So right now, what do you have your eye on as the next thing that you're looking? Are you looking for a new camera body? You're looking for a new lens? What's the next direction you see yourself going in?
This is going to surprise you, but nothing really on the radar right now. Of course, I'm keeping my eye on the Canon mirrorless situation, but I'm not excited to jump in just yet. I got a lot of stuff, I guess, over the past couple years, so I'm pretty content at the moment, but I just want to keep my eye on things.
Right.
How many do you actually have, Lynn?
How many
Cameras do you have?
right now? Let's see. I have the 90D, the 16 Mark II. I have an Olympus OMD 10 Mark II and a 5 Mark III. I have a Panasonic Lumix, just a little, portable one with a 30 times zoom. A little GoPro thing, which I never use. I guess that's about it. But I have a lot of lenses. So,
Wow.
yeah.
I thought I was a gearhead.
That's not counting the tripods and all the other
Oh yeah.
bags and all that stuff.
What would be your favorite of all those type lenses and cameras and so on and so forth? What's your favorite combination, Lynn?
I can't say as I have a favorite. I use different combinations depending on what I'm doing. I do like my 100 to 400 Canon because of the wildlife. So, I use that with the 90D quite a lot. If I'm going to go in the city and do like inside architecture or something, then it's the 60 Mark II. And I absolutely love the 17 to 40L. It's a beautiful lens.
Oh, yeah.
And if I want to travel light, it's the Olympus because I can fit like a whole kit in like the 5-liter Peak Design little bag.
Wow. Yeah, good.
Everything. Depends what I'm doing, how much I feel like carrying, where I'm going.
What do you normally like? What's your favorite subject to shoot? I mean, I know I see a lot of wildlife and I see a lot of birds and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's, I guess, typically my favorite, and that's kind of where I started when I got back into photography. At that point, basically, I was looking for the, to get out and be in nature and relaxing and, all that good stuff. So, I really enjoy that. It's kind of like a first love, but I mean, I'll shoot anything. Architecture, city stuff, macro, astro, travel, anything. There's so many things I want to try, but it's just like a time factor, with work and all.
Yeah.
But I would love to try like liquid, experimental. I just love it all. I really do.
What do you like most about being a photographer in general? Do you like getting out to do the photographs? Do you like the editing? Do you like working on?
Oh, that's a tough one. I mean, I really love being out because when you're working all week, I just like crave being out. And I find it when you're in nature, it's very relaxing, it's
Mhm.
good exercise. So, there's a lot of things that go along with the photography piece of it. But I find that when I'm in the zone and I'm editing, I could just keep going. It's not that I do like a lot of editing on each image, but I like trying different things. Some things that I try, I never post, you know. Sometimes I just like to try and see, oh, what would it look like this, or what would it look like that. And a lot of times, honestly, when I come home and first look at my photos, I'm like, oh, this is crap. I didn't get anything good today. But if I go back to it a week later, I'm like, oh, I could do something with this. So sometimes I think I have garbage, and then I wind up with a bunch of good images. So
Oh, yeah.
it all depends on when you look at it, what mood you look at it. And sometimes it's better to just sit back and look later.
Yeah, exactly.
You do a lot of going out and shooting with groups of other photographers, or primarily you like to just go out solo most of the time?
I had been going out a lot with groups of friends in the past, and then with just like schedules, and then COVID, it's pretty much been myself. I would say over the past year I've gone out myself a lot more. Again, just to a lot of scheduling issues. So, but before that, I've been going out with a lot of groups.
Talking about groups, Lynn, I'm just going to interject here, Keith, if you don't mind. In the group that we have, the Canon 60, 70, 80, 90D, and so on, who are some of your favorite photographers? I'm putting you on the spot here, but who do you follow in that group? Who do you think and the second part of that question is, and while I'm asking it, who would you like to see here on this little forum with us? Meet the member forum.
Oh man, a lot of people. I mean, basically, I look at everybody's images, and they're all different. Some people do the nature, the landscape, the scenery. Some do what looks like the models. So they're all different. And, I look at them all. I don't. So it's hard to even pick. I guess if I had to pick one person who kind of stands out as a little different, maybe, I would have to say Emilio.
Yeah.
Because his is like from a different perspective, more from the heart, the family kind of a thing.
It shows, yep.
That's a little bit different. I don't know. A lot. I mean, Carrie with those rats, man. I love so cute. I love that stuff. I can't get it up, because I love the animals. That's like so cute. No, they're all great. I mean, the Britt brothers, they've come a long way.
Really have.
And they're not afraid to try stuff.
No.
They're trying to go artsy. They're trying different things, especially with like the music theme coming up.
Yeah.
They had some really interesting ideas there, so I like that. Susan, Joanne, anybody with the wildlife, I love that. So, I basically follow it all. It's just, again, it's time constraints. A lot of times I just like pop in for a second and I'm clicking a like on my phone real quick in between work, so I don't always get on as much as I want or comment as much, but I'm following.
Yeah, we're all kind of like that. I don't have a lot of time now in my life to photograph things, but these kind of ideas are really cool. I mean, I enjoy doing this. I enjoy talking to Keith and you and everyone else. We all have our little chat room as well that we get into it every now and then. So I'm going to bring up some of your images that you sent me and have you have a chat about them here, if you don't mind. Let's see if I can do this and share this one. Can you guys see what's on the screen?
Yes, I can.
That's an interesting image. Tell me about that one there, Lynn.
Okay, that's the Oculus in Manhattan, and it's very interesting piece of architecture. You know, it's they have like a mall in there. It's where all the subways meet up and the PATH train, and you know, it's a very interesting looking structure. And I remember wanting to go there because, you know, I wanted to see it and I wanted to photograph it. You can go in, you can photograph, you know, do whatever you want in there, basically. And, you know, I thought it would be interesting. That's when I found out around that time that the 70D could do the multiple exposure in camera. And I remember back in the film days where you know, like kind of like wind it back and go over it. So this is like the digital version of that. And I really wanted to try it. And if you see on the ledge there, it's like an observation level with people. And there was also another along the sides, there's levels where you can walk by. That's where like where the stores are on one side or whatever. So yeah, I just kind of lined it up and I wanted to try the multiple exposure. So I had what you have to do is, you know, you set it for how many images you want, and then you have to, like, after you take the first one, you kind of line the second one up over it. So I lined the people walking through over the observation area. And it basically pretty much came out as, you know, what I was kind of had in my head. So I was kind of happy about that.
Yeah, very nice. I like that one.
I find that you really push the technical limits, and that's pretty fascinating. That's really cool. Let's see, go to the next one here. Ah, yes, the owl. Tell us about this one, Lynn.
That was one of the first images that I took when I got back into photography in 2012. This was actually with a bridge camera, the Canon SX40. It was a great camera. It wasn't interchangeable lenses, but it was 40 times zoom. And I had started out with it because I had first got back into the hobby, so I wasn't looking, you know, to spend a lot. I didn't have a lot of money at the time. But it was a very good camera, and it got me through like the first, you know, year or two till I kind of got the bug to upgrade. But it, you know, I felt like it did a really nice job, and I felt like, wow, if I did this with that camera, you know, what could I do if I start, you know, maybe upgrading and going a little further.
Yeah. Let's go to the next one here. Oh yeah, I remember this one.
Yeah.
I'm responsible for this one. I know I am.
Yeah. That's my baby. That's when we had the portrait challenge.
That's right.
I typically don't have anybody to shoot portraits with, so I like begged my son for like 2 minutes of whatever, and I wanted that kind of like, you know, I don't care hoodsy kind of look. And so he came out, we did it. I mean, his hair is like bright red, but I like toned it down a bit. So I edited it, I got it where I wanted. And I put it up in the contest and I realized, oh, I can't enter this. This is what, I forgot that the lens was on the other camera. It was on the 16 Mark II.
Oh, yeah.
So I had to retract it. But I was like, okay, I guess I could take a picture of a person, you know. And that was with the nifty 50, which I never use that lens.
Well, it works really well. Do you remember what your aperture was on this?
Outside, I'd have to look it up. I don't remember.
I'm kind of looking at the focus on this, and I'm seeing that, you know, the stitching in the shoulder is maybe a little bit out of focus. You're probably around 1.8 or 2 or 2.8 on this.
Probably.
Because, you know, there's a little bit of, his eyes are perfectly focused, but yeah, no, that was a great shot. And what else we got here? Oh yeah, this one, the last one. Tell us about this one.
That was just, you know, I think I had gotten a new lens, so I was just outside in front of the house playing with it a little bit. And I just leaf just happened to be stuck in the manhole cover like that. And the light was coming through, and it was like, oh, that's, you know, I got to shoot that. So I did. And I'm trying to remember what lens? It might have been, I'm not even sure. I'm going to have to look. But you can see the depth of field is, you know.
Very shallow. And also your editing process on this. I wish you could talk a little bit about that, if you can remember what you did, because it seems like you pushed the clarity, or you push something there, and I'm not really sure, like the saturation, or I don't know really what was the editing, but it makes the colors different. You know, it makes them powerful.
I think also because it's like the background is very, you know, like the tar black and the steel, and whatever light I had coming through it, you know, it kind of offsets it.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things I happened on. So it was like, okay, that's cool. I'll take that.
That's cool. We're glad you shared those with us. Keith, any parting words? You know, we spent 20 minutes here with Lynn, and it's gone by so quickly. We don't want to stretch them out. We don't want to make them hours. I could talk to you forever, Lynn, you know, and that's the thing. Keith, any parting words?
No, I'm just really happy that Lynn is in one of the admins in our group. I mean, her knowledge going back from film all the way up to modern day, and she definitely knows a lot and keeps up with everything that's going on currently in the photo world all the time. So she's definitely one of the go-to persons when it's coming to what's going on in photography these days. So very glad to be with her.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Yeah, and you know, Lynn, as I've said before, I'm so grateful that you joined this group, because you've been an assistance and a help, and you've listened to me complain and whine, and you've listened to all my crazy ideas. One of the things a lot of admins don't know is, in the early days, I'd get angry, but I'd get angry with Lynn. I'd get on and I'd just vent. She would just, okay, settle down, calm down. It's not that bad, you know. And she took the brunt of a lot of stuff. So I'm so glad and so happy that she stuck it out with me. And you know, hey.
I'm in a lot of groups, but ours is the nice. This is the family. So, you know.
It is. Yeah, it is. It is. How true it is. Well, we're gonna work on getting Emilio onto this with us, and many others. And ladies and gentlemen, if you like what we're doing, and you know, please let us know if you want to be part of this. Keith and I have done this. We don't know how it's going to work out. We don't know how many we're going to do, but you know what? We're started, and that's the most important thing. And if you like it, let us know in the comments below when you see this video, just because we're writing down the names, and we're creating a list, and we want to make sure that list keeps growing so that we can meet all of the members in this format. Lynn, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. This is absolutely fantastic.
Thank you very much, Lynn.
Keith, as always, a pleasure. Pleasure talking to you, buddy. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye, folks.
Take care.